Alright, so today I have another Ball Python clutch of eggs that are hatching. I actually have 5 more boxes of eggs in my incubator, and to my surprise, I actually saw some heads sticking out of the eggs this morning, and it's actually quite a few days early compared to the normal hatch time of my Ball Python eggs. Usually they hatch right on day 60, so it's kind of unusual for them to start coming out just a few days early. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those eggs out of the incubator, cut them open a little bit with the scissors, and kind of get a sneak peek as far as the results from this pairing. And the pairing, essentially what that is, I actually took a Pastel Enchi Desert Ghost male and I bred it to a Lemon Blast female. So there's quite a few genes in this combination. We can actually get pastels, we'll get super pastels, we'll get Lemon Blast with a combination of the pastel and the pinstripe. We'll also get super blast with the super pastel and the pinstripe, and then we'll also get Enchi in all of the combinations. So we'll also get Enchis, we'll also get some normals too, which hopefully we don't get too many normals. It seems like this year I've been producing quite a few normals. And keep in mind, even if we get normals, they'll all be 100% het for Desert Ghost. They'll contain 1 copy of the Desert Ghost gene. And as far as I know, that Lemon Blast, I don't think it's het for Desert Ghost, so I'm not really expecting any visual Desert Ghosts, although sometimes it can kind of surprise you breeding these recessives through your collection. I actually bred my Desert Ghost to my Pastel Calico female, and to my surprise, I actually produced a visual Desert Ghost last year, which kind of blew me away. Sometimes it can be completely unexpected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull these eggs out of the incubator, we'll cut them open, and we'll check out the results from this pairing. Alright, before we start, I wanted to show you one of my best snakes of the year that I hatched out earlier. It's completely out and shed. This is, I actually had 3 of these albino pieds. Look at how beautiful this is. I have to actually go through my rack. I want to show you all my snakes at some point. I just wanted to show you this one. So beautiful, unbelievable. I got these really high white albino pieds. So to produce this, I actually crossed my albino pied male to an albino het pied and hit some really good odds. Look at how beautiful that is. And all the females, if I have any females from these albino pieds, I'll be keeping them all. I'll be selling the males. These still haven't eaten anything yet, so it's going to be a bit before I post them over on Morph Market. As a matter of fact, you might want to check over on Morph Market because I'm going to start posting some of my earlier clutches that have eaten, some of them have eaten like 5 or 6 meals, so I'm going to start posting those over there. But these are just absolutely stunning. I'll probably hold back every single visual pied female that I produce this year as future breeders as far as kind of boosting my collection. I just wanted to show you this one's so absolutely beautiful. A lot of people have been asking, hey, why didn't you post, what happened to your daily posting of videos over here on YouTube on your snake channel? I've actually been posting daily over on my motorcycle channel. I have a new channel called My Motorcycle Obsession, and I've been test driving brand new motorcycles over there, posting daily. Let me tell you, that is, some of them are really scary. Some of them are pretty awesome over there. You should go over there and check it out. I'll actually leave a link to my motorcycle channel below. And once the weather turns back, it starts, once the snow starts flying up here in the mountains, I'll be back to posting every day on my on my snake channel instead of kind of the motorcycles kind of seasonal, especially up here in the mountains of Colorado. I just wanted to show you this one though. This is absolutely stunning. I just can't believe how awesome these turned out, these albino pies. So let me put this guy away and I'm going to open this box and let's cut some eggs. Alright, so I was actually looking back at my records and this is kind of weird. These are hatching 6 days early, which I don't know what's going on. I actually looked at the temperature in my incubator. I've been looking at the temperature every single day, and the temperature is always between 88 and 90 degrees in that incubator. So it's usually if you have like a temperature problem, sometimes if the temperature is too high, you can have eggs hatch early. But look at all the condensation in this. It's unbelievable. It's like raining down on these snakes, which is kind of crazy. Wow, take a look at all these. So this is, so that's kind of interesting. This is actually Pastel Enchi Desert Ghost crossed with the Pastel Pinstripe. This almost, I don't even know what this is. Take a look at that. They got a little tiny head sticking out. They have one head there that's really light. Take a look at that one. I don't know if that one could possibly be like a, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's got to be like super pastel with that really light head. Almost looks like it has something else in it, which is pretty wild. Looks like I see quite a few normals in there too, which is always frustrating. I don't know why I get so many normals. I gotta start breeding with like supers, at least, you know, like a super pastel, so I get at least all pastels or something like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull these out one at a time. I'm gonna start with this really crazy light one here. Let's see if we can take a look at that one. I would say that's probably, I don't even know if a super pastel is even that light. It looks pretty crazy. Look at how light the head is on that one. It almost looks like a bamboo head or something like that. It's like, did I mislabel this one? Hopefully I didn't mislabel this. If we get a bamboo, yeah, I definitely mislabeled this clutch. I have not ever, you know, my records are pretty good. I've never mislabeled any of my clutches before. So let's see if I can zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see what's going on here. And we'll see if we can cut this guy open. It always kind of freaks me out with their head kind of poking out. There we go. Get him back in the egg so I don't have to deal with that. Don't cut this guy. Wow, look at that. Wow. All right, let's take a look at this here. Let's see if I can work around this guy. That's why I like the blunt scissors, because I can get right next to their head. Wow, that looks like all the genes right there. That looks like a super pastel Enchi pinstripe. Take a look at that. That is pretty awesome. You can see the Enchi really reduces the pattern almost to like little hair-like patterns on the side. So that's my guess on that one. As far as the identification, that's pretty awesome. I think that's the combination of the super pastel and the pinstripe kind of acting together to really fade out the head on that one. So that's pretty awesome. Looks like we hit all the genes on that one. All right, so let's take a look at another one here. So far, so good. Awesome. All right, let's take a look at this one. Wow, this one looks like kind of similar here. This could be, I think, oh, I don't know what this one is here. I think this might be an Enchi Lemon Blast, Enchi Pastel Pinstripe, because with the Super Pastel, you'd really fade out the head. And it looks like it has Enchi because the pattern's really reduced on this one. Maybe. I think so. I think that might have Enchi in it. It's at least a Lemon Blast. But I think with the, yeah, I think it's got the Enchi in there too. I don't want him to come out all the way. It looks like he's coming out. All right, so that's pretty good odds right there. Not bad at all. All right, so let's take a look at this. This looks kind of like a normal head right there, but sometimes you never know until they come completely all the way out. But it looks, from what I'm seeing on this one, looking pretty normal on this one. Of course, it could be an Enchi too. Enchis kind of have normal looking heads like that. I would say that's about as normal as you can get. That is just a normal ball python. 100% had Desert Ghost for sure on that one. So quite a variety. Take a look at that one. Just by the head, it kind of looks like a pinstripe on that one, which is pretty cool. So let's see. Sometimes it's a little tricky just kind of guessing by the head. Oh, he's got his head like, look at it, he's got his head like stuck in there. Oh, I do not like cutting around the heads on these ball pythons. It's like super stuck in there. I'd rather get them kind of partially in there so I don't have to kind of stretch the egg from around his neck. Let's see what this guy is here. That looks like just a pinstripe. Beautiful, like a bright gold pinstripe. I don't know if there's Enchi in that one or not. I don't think so. It looks like just a pinstripe. It's so hard to tell until they come all the way out. That's kind of why I wanted to do a rack review so you could see everything. Take a look at this one. Wow. This guy's like stretching way out. All right, so that looked like a pinstripe to me, just a regular pinstripe. This one looked like a pastel, kind of coming out of the egg there. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see. That one looks like a really bright pastel. Take a look at that. Doesn't really look like there's Enchi in this one. Usually, well, yeah, usually with the stripe right along the head, if it's Enchi, usually there's like a wider spot towards the back of the head. That's just that looks like a really super bright pastel on that one. Really bright yellow. All right, so we are making a mess. Doing pretty good. We haven't had any kind of repetition. You know, sometimes I'll get like a whole handful of one thing or the other, which is kind of maddening. All right, so we have 4 eggs left. This is actually a 9-egg clutch, which is pretty awesome. All right, so all of them, every single one has at least these little egg tooth cuts. So no eggs that have you know, molded or anything. Looks like they're all viable eggs. Seems like this year I've been getting a whole bunch of moldy eggs and some that like partially develop and then die in the egg, which I don't know what's going on. I just don't know why this is so early, like 6 days early. That's like I wrote the date wrong down or something. I'll have to go back in my records, but that's kind of wild. All right, take a look at this one. This looks like a really crazy looking, it looks like just a really crazy looking pastel. Take a look at that. Just kind of a really wild pattern. So this is our second pastel. I don't think there's Enchi in this one. Usually the Enchi gives you kind of the wider head stripe, and I don't really see that on that one. All right, 3 more to go. Pretty good odds. And all these, I will probably definitely sell all these eventually over on Morph Market. So I'm definitely filling up a lot of my hatchling racks. Oh, this guy's all goopy. Wow, take a look at this one. Wow. Wow. That's interesting. That looks like another, well, that's kind of interesting. It's not quite as reduced. That's pretty wild. So yeah, I don't know what this is. This almost looks like a Enchi. It looks like it's more. It looks like it's a super pastel Enchi. But take a look at that. Look at the stripes on that one. How they're really strong, and the head on that one. And then take a look at that one compared to this one. This one is the one that I also thought had all the genes. But I think there's definitely a difference between these. This one definitely looks like it has Enchi, pastel. Maybe not pinstripe in this one. So maybe this one, I don't know. I think they're, it's really super reduced though. It's really hard to tell what's in this one. Maybe not pinstripe. I think that's a super pastel Enchi on that one. Oh, my identification. It's, you know, it's weird because you do the morph videos and stuff like that, and you can kind of work your way through, but then you get like unknowns like this, and you're always looking back and forth trying to compare them. So I think this one has the pinstripe. That one is the same thing without the pinstripe, because the pinstripe I think is really reducing it. But I think that's the super pastel Enchi Desert Ghost on that one. And ooh, we are getting really goopy. All right, so we have 2 eggs left. Let me get a new paper towel here. Pretty exciting. This is like my favorite part of the year is cutting eggs. All right, I'm really excited about those pieds that I'm getting. I actually have another clutch where I crossed my Coral Glow het pied to my visual pied. So I should get half pieds, possibly Coral Glow pieds on that one, which I'm definitely going to keep back all the females. That one should hatch here pretty soon, which would be pretty awesome. All right, let's take a look at this guy. This one, oh, let's see. This one is really goopy. This one looks like, I don't think it's a super pastel. It looks like just a really crazy looking pastel on that one. Pretty yellow. It's kind of hard to tell if you don't look at the head. Sometimes it can kind of fool you looking in there, but usually the super pastels have a really faded out head. It could be a super pastel on that one, but I think it's just a pastel. So we actually have, what, 3 pastels, which is kind of crazy. Pastel het desert ghost. As a matter of fact, someone was just asking me for a female pastel het desert ghost. All right, so this is the last egg of the clutch. So pretty good odds on this one. You know, sometimes you can get destroyed by the odds by getting, you know, like whole clutches of normals or something like that. All right, let's take a look at this. This looks like, oh yeah, so this is definitely, this looks like a super pastel right there. That's what a super pastel is. Usually you can tell the super pastels, you can see it has a lighter head, and on the top you can see these kind of like little lighter spots right down the ridge of the back coming down. So that's definitely a super pastel. So pretty good odds on that one. Super pastel het desert ghost. As a matter of fact, if I actually held back any of them, maybe it would be something like this. This is the Super Pastel Enchi Pinstripe Het Desert Ghost. It's kind of like the crown jewel with all the genes in that one, which is pretty awesome. That's a pretty good clutch of eggs. Pretty stoked about the odds on that one. It's almost like the perfect balance of the odds. You know, sometimes you hit the odds and they're just kind of all over the place. So once these come out, I'm definitely going to do a rack review. Filling up got my 1065 about half filled up. My 1039 is completely full. I sold some of them. My very first clutch of eggs, I sold some of those already. So pretty much the whole first clutch. I sold some bamboos and stuff like that. But I'll definitely go through my rack and I'll show you all my hatchlings before I sell most of them. All right, guys. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching. And I will see you in the next video.